today's session we'll start with the validations, okay, and values, setting the value state of the field.
Okay.
So when I click on this submit button and if it is empty, okay, I should get, and when I click on OK, I should get the value state that this is empty, and input field, like when you put the cursor, it will come input field invalid. So you can change the text as well. Okay. Okay, so let's see the value state. So when I put this empty, I need to get that field. So I checked the condition and I said that set.
I just can't see the screen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Value state. Change this to I got the error text, and you see that the box is highlighted with error, red color. Okay. So, and you place the cursor, you get invalid entry. Okay. So if you want to put that text as well, you can have that text. Okay. So like I put right. So say this dot by id. Okay, id input dot set value state text. Okay. Name cannot be empty. Delete. Okay. Plus, and when you place a cursor, you get the text name cannot be empty. So this is how you can put the value state, okay, of particular field. Either it can be error, warning, success, none. Okay, these are the 4 value states. Okay, so once you put that one, and then it should be the value state you should get the default one. Okay, the value state should not be error. Okay, so to get that, we have the else message, right? So else, and I put, instead of error, I put none. Okay, so I enable it, I remove this one, say submit, I get that text, please enter input text, name cannot be empty. Okay, and then once I type Danny and click submit, it says input element contains text Danny, and the error goes off. Okay, because I have put the value status none. Okay, so now if you put the cursor also here, the value, that state text doesn't appear. It appears only when you put, when there is an error. Okay, so for this likewise you can build a form. Okay, and you can put many validations that the input should be a number. Okay, suppose if you put I will introduce a field called age. Okay, so let me input age and enable true, and I say type equal to number. By default it is a string. Okay, so you have age field, right? So if I type any characters or any other fields, I'm typing but it is not entering, it only accepts numbers. Okay, but the age cannot be random, like this random number. It is between, for humans it is a it will always be 1 and 100, right? So, and it cannot be less, so you need to validate this field. Okay, so when you click submit, you need to validate, or when you change something. Okay, that means when you are typing something, you need to get that validation. Okay, so to get that one, there is an to get that one, we need to validate that thing. So let's have this equal. I will put an event for this live change. There is an event called live change. Okay, and I say live change and validate in validate age. Okay, I give the method name as validate age. So click on save. See. Save. Okay, so save. I'll put here instead of alert, we can use now message box.alert. Okay, so it will not error here. The indication will not be there. Okay, error thing. Okay. Saved it and click refresh. Now I type 3. You see, when I'm typing something, it gives me then alert because I have put a live change event. Okay, so live change means whatever happens lively in that field, that will be validated. Okay, so depending upon our conditions we have given. Okay, so this is called live change.
Okay.
So let's see. Well, let's go to console here. Okay, and let's go to source and let's put a debugging point here. Controller live change age. Okay, I'll put here. So let's see what this event is. Okay. What does it contain? Okay, so it is a object. Okay, and it contains values. Okay, new value, and we have the ID, and we have the get source. So in the get source, using get source also we can get the ID. Okay, and you have last value. Okay, we have changed 3. The last value was 34 and we have changed to 343. So you can get the last value as well. Okay, so to get that, this is a debugger, so you can have this one. Okay, so you can say event dot get get source. So we get you have this source, right? O source. So in order to get that, you can put get source. You have the parameter. Okay, m parameters. So there are values, new values, and ID. So in order to get that thing, we can use those events, or we can get those as well. O event dot get parameter of, I want ID. So I need to use oEvent.get parameter ID. Okay, I want the value as well. So I will put another watch point. oEvent.get parameter of value. Okay, so you got this value. Okay, so this is looks like a string. Okay, so we need to convert this string to integer. Okay, so if I say dot is nan, is nan. So it says that is it a number? It says false. So we need to convert this to integer. Okay, so let's add another watch, and we can have a parse int of event dot get parameter of y. Now it is integer. Okay, so we need to check whether it is an integer or not. To check that, we need to use isNaN. Okay, so if it is not a integer, we need to convert into integer. The method used we have is here by default method in JavaScript is parseInt. So we can convert this into number, and then we can validate whether it is a less than symbol or greater than 0. Okay, so we need to use all those things here. Okay, so let's have these things. So I put variable age equal to get the age, and then I will say if isNaN of age I'll put it by default. If it comes false, if it is false, I need to convert it into number. Okay, so otherwise we can convert into number as well. If it is a number also, we can convert it into number. Okay, so if it is number, we will convert this into number. Okay, so parse int of age count age equal. So this converts into the 10 of radix 10. Okay, so we have the age, and now we have converted this, and let's beautify. Okay, so now we'll compare the age. If age is less than 1, and age is greater than yeah. If age is greater than 100, okay, then we need to put the value state. Okay, yes. Okay, so the value state is they have created this. I will use this ID now. Where age ID equal to okay, and I say here set value state. Age ID dot this dot my ID. I say now age ID. Okay, and dot set value state as error. Okay, and I'll put state value text as age should be between 0 and 100. Okay, and if it is fine, then you can put, if the error is not there, then you can put error state as null. Okay. If it is blank also, you need to return, right? So if age dot trim double equal to empty, okay, so error, and this one, okay, this one. So now I enter -1. Okay, so you see, I got the error as age should be between 0 and 100, and it is error. Okay, I now let me remove this debugging. Okay. So let me enter 101. Let's see where it gone wrong. Okay, so I have another arrow here, so I should correct this. 1, we will not get any error. So if I change to 101, so it got to that one, it converted to page is 1011. Okay, here we should give the condition as OR. Okay, because it cannot satisfy both, right? Age cannot be this one, so so one is false and one is true. It might be that one's case, so it is not giving the exact error. Okay. Now you see the error sums. Okay.
Okay.
So, and if I enter the correct value, I get the error gone. Okay, if I place the cursor also, I don't get the thing. So now today you have learned the validation of the forms, how to validate the input field, how to validate the name, age. Okay, so likewise there will be so many other things. There will be date fields validations, that the date should not be two dates should not be greater than the date difference should not be greater than 6 weeks or 2 months. Okay, so you need to validate those things. Okay, and you need to put an error message like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So another thing here is suppose we have the valid we have the form, validate input field is there, right? So suppose you have multiple things. So even though you have put on a live change, and when you click submit, you need to validate again both fields, right? So you can validate it like that. But if in the first instance itself the input field is gone wrong, there is no need to validate the other field. Okay, so for that you can after the error is detected, okay, you can simply say return false. Okay, and if you say return false, the other things will not be validated. Okay, so say if input element page empty. Okay, I'm enabling the field. I'm making this empty. Okay, click on submit. Okay, so you see that the first one is got validated. Okay, and I click on close also, it didn't validate this one because I have put return false. Okay, so since I have put in the after validating this, I put return false. Okay, so if it is this got error, I don't need to validate other things. So let the user get this validation done first. Okay, so I say then, okay, and I click submit. Now you see that the second one got validated. So if the client requirement is like that, you can return the form without validating the other fields. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So return false will make sure that the other fields is not validated unless this field is corrected. Okay, so this is about the validations. Okay, and you have seen here in the input today, you have seen that input field can be used as a string, input field can be used as a number. Okay, so there are different formats. Okay, for the input. Let's see here. Input type. We need the input type. Okay. There are date, time, date, local, email, month, number, password, okay, telephone, text, time, okay, URL, week. Okay, so but some of them are deprecated, so don't use the deprecated one because SAP is not going to support it. So if you require it default, then you can have that one. Okay, so yeah, so there are examples for these input types as well in the UF Explorer. Just explore those things. Okay, how to use input mask, how to use input as password, how to use input as a telephone. Okay, how to use input as URL. Okay, there are examples here in the UF Explorer. Just explore those. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we have seen these examples, right? So let's go. Today we'll see some of the how to use the layouts. Okay, like you have seen layout like VBox. Okay, so there are other certain layouts. Okay, like form layout you have seen, VBox layout you have seen. There are other layout. I'll tell you is HBox. Okay, so that is horizontal box. Okay, so let's see here. So what are the different types of layouts? Okay, so there are different layouts. Okay, that is uh, grid form layout, grid layout, horizontal layout. Okay, object page layout, uh, form simple form, vertical layout. Okay, so we have seen form layout. Okay, so let's see the horizontal layout, vertical layout, Hbox. Okay, so so horizontal layout is where if you put an horizontal layout and when whatever input elements you type give in the horizontal layout, that comes in the horizontal only. Okay, let's see this example. You see, they have put three images and the three images got line by line. Okay, so if you see the vertical layout and you run the examples, that comes in downwards. Okay, so let's see the horizontal layout. Okay. So this horizontal layout is, if you want to use this horizontal layout, you need to use UI layout library, sap.ui layout library. Okay, so let's use this UI layout library. So I have used this UI layout library, and I need to use this horizontal layout. If you see this one, okay, you see that options are there, and the radio buttons are there. Okay, so let's see whether we can have that in a H box. Okay, so I'll keep this H box horizontal layout. Okay, you see, it turned out to be like this. Instead of vertical, it came horizontal. Okay, so so instead of this one, if you use H box, it will come down. Okay, it will not come in that line. I will comment that. Let me comment this. See, if you use H box, it comes down. Okay, if you use horizontal layout, it takes the flow layout and it comes in the same line. Okay, so that is the difference between the H box and horizontal layout. Both have the same behavior. Okay, but the thing is, it comes on that line, whereas this one it comes down.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have used a vertical layout right here. So you can use instead of a horizontal layout, in this one put vertical layout. Okay, this one is already that one, so it doesn't have used this one, right, buttons. So it will be like that only. Down, it will come down with your button group. Let me use here itself. Okay, so vertical layout also same. It takes the it takes the flow layout and it comes the next. Okay, so if you use VBox, it comes down.
Okay.
Difference between the vertical layout and the VBox horizontal layout and hbox. So if you want it in a new line, use hbox. If you want it in the same line, then use horizontal layout or vertical layout. Okay.
Okay.
We have used the toolbar layout as well. Okay, so page layout. So you can have this tool page layout like this as well. Okay, so if you see here, they have used TNT. So, yeah, so you have to use this library for this SAP TNT. Okay, tool page layout, and you can have you can see tool page. Okay, with a header. So tool page with a header, menu. Okay. Menu items. These are the menu items. Header, so tool page header, and you have the layout. Okay. This is a complex one. Okay, so let's you just go through this one after you have comfortable with the other layouts. Okay, so we have the simple form. Okay, so where you have seen the simple form layout. Okay, we have the splitter. Okay, I'll tell you the splitter later. Okay, let's see the fix flex and flex box. So we will be using this mostly. Okay, so flex box you'll see basic alignments. So you see, it can be upper left. These buttons are in left, and these buttons are in center. These buttons are in right. Okay, these are in the middle left, middle center, and middle right. Okay, middle lower. Okay, lower left, lower center, and lower right. You can have these types. So for that we need to use flexbox. Okay, so once you write flexbox, okay, so you can use this flexbox. It is sap.m only. Okay, so you can mention the height, you can mention the alignment items. You want it start or left, or start or end or in the center. Okay, so if you see justify content center, start. Okay, let's take one example and we can have those things. Okay, you see there is a panel as well. Okay, so panel is also a container. A panel is a container. Okay, so page is a container, like panel is also a container. Okay, let's see first this flexbox. I put here the flexbox. Height is 100 pixels. Alignment at start, justify start. And in this flexbox, you need whatever items you need to put. You need to put under this tag items. They have put use buttons. The 3 buttons are used. Okay. So let's see how this looks. So now you got this flex box with the height 100 pixels, and it is start. Okay, so if I change it to center, I think it is middle, start, center, end. Center on align items, it is center only. Maybe some spelling wrong. CNT or here it is not behaving. Copy the other one. Change this one, but why? Center end. I say here start. It is not working. So you change these things and center as a alignment end. Say refresh. There is something which with the class. The copying or something changing, it is not behaving. So if I copy this one, it is coming. This one, something mismatch is there. Okay, so and then start. Something because of classes or something, it is not taking it. Sometimes it depends upon the version as well. Okay. Yeah, it is center start. Center. Yeah, you see center. Okay, I say elements end center. Sometimes it comes, sometimes not. Okay, but it should be here. A copy it is coming, so something with this content we need to see. Okay, so let's see the flexbox, flexbox. Yeah. The other things. It must sometimes the version also plays a role. Okay. So you can have this like this as well. Just go through these examples. Okay, you will understand. There is a nested ones, so you can have this nested ones like this. Okay, the different sizes. So it's nothing but they play with the V box and H box. Okay, see H box, V box. So they say they have an attributes that fit container, true, align item, stretch. Okay, so it all depends upon this how you play with the attributes. Okay. These are the contain layout fix flex. Okay. So just go through some of this one. Okay, if you don't understand, get back to me. I will explain you. Okay. So
Okay.
that's it for today. Any questions?
No.